Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Good to see you this afternoon on this Wednesday afternoon. We're up at the top of the hour, getting ready to get started for our Wednesday webinar with American Business Systems. I appreciate everybody joining in so quickly. I see Sherry and Karen and Latanya and Maud and Olusegun. So I hope again I keep saying your name correctly. There's a few more that's given us a shout here. So appreciate you joining us this afternoon. Just want to make sure that everybody's hearing me okay, and we will get started here just momentarily. I am just making sure that you guys have everything that you need as we get started here. It's going to be a great topic this afternoon. It's going to be kind of generalized, but we're going to take some time to kind of work through everything. So let's just get ready as we get started. So anyway, good afternoon. My name's Eric Auger. I just want to let you know that it's a pleasure to join you here this afternoon. So let's get started. All right. So if you haven't already found the Q&A box, I want you to go over there and just start typing in where you're calling in from. I appreciate it. Everybody let me know where you're calling in from. Today's topic is, again, start your own medical billing company and not crash it in the beginning. Okay, so hopefully we're going to cover some really good, interesting information as we go through it. So again, if you'll find the Q&A box, you'll find it somewhere in your Zoom part of the webinar. If you'll just put in there, again, tell me where you're calling in from. Tell me what city, state that you're calling in from. And I want to make sure, obviously, I'm being heard. Now, my little microphone's bouncing up and down. So I think it's working on my side. So if somebody just let me know that you're hearing me okay, at least that would certainly be helpful as well. All right. So let me see who can be the first one. Come on, everybody. Let's not be just scared to type in something. There we go. Maud is from Philadelphia. We've got Dip Karmar. Hopefully I said your name correctly. And from Virginia. We've got Olusegun from Corpus Christi again, and good to see you. I remember that from last week. And Sherry's from Las Vegas, Nevada. So good seeing everybody. There's some other folks that are on here, and you're joining me. Hey, again, for the last few weeks, I know that we've been doing some great interviews. We've got some new interviews that are being scheduled here very soon. And so you're going to want to participate in those that are coming up. But today, I really want to make this about you and the questions that you have. So this is one of those webinars that the topic is somewhat general, but it's going to be specific in some areas. And I want to make sure that as you leave today, that you know that your questions are being heard. And then if I can't answer them, I'll make sure they get routed to the right person. How about that? So if you've got questions that you want to start off with, feel free to start typing them in the Q&A box, and I'm going to answer those throughout the presentation. Again, today we're just going to start, we talk about, starting your own medical billing business and not crash it in the beginning. So that's really kind of the two-tiered topic that we're dealing with here. But before I move any further, some of you may be brand new, some may be listening for the very first time. I'm going to introduce you to a few, at least one folk of our team here, one of our team members, and that's Adam Phillips. He is our CEO. Adam's been interviewed on several different occasions, whether it's magazine or in this one here is the Healthcare Business Review. American Business Systems just won an award at the beginning of this year. His article is in that particular magazine that we were interviewed in. And if you'd like to get a copy of this, feel free to reach out to your sales rep that you're working with here, and then we'll get you a copy. You can see that it's the blueprint for building a successful medical billing business. Kind of this is what this whole topic is about today, starting your own medical billing business. So this would be a very good opportunity to grab this article. You can see there a little bit in that headline there. It says ABS attracts corporate professionals, retirees, stay-at-home parents, all seeking work-life balance, flexibility, and greater income control. So folks, you've got an opportunity here to hear from Adam Phillips in this article out of Healthcare Business Review. And again, this is the a little plaque that we just received here not too long ago, stating that we are one of their top major medical billing support businesses services this year. So pretty cool there. Adam is also featured in a magazine called Billing and Coding Advantage magazine. He's written some articles. I was talking with Adam and with Tim Warren, our support guy here at American Business Systems, that Adam's coming out with some new articles here. So we're looking forward to seeing and hearing some of those. But a couple of that will kind of catch your attention. What about the shrinking private practice? Is that real? Is it a myth? Whatever, what it might be. But why billing from a outsourced billing company like yourself can be actual lifetime for some of these practices. And then the one that's been featured, as we did like last week, we did a whole topic on artificial intelligence and how that's improving and helping doctors get better at their own coding and collections and everything to increase their cash flow revenue. So some great articles there, so you might want to get a hold of. Now, this next part is really for you. There's an organization that you'll be a part of as soon as you complete your training here at American Business Systems, and it's an organization called MERMA. It's the Medical Revenue Management Association of America. Once you've joined ABS and you completed the training, it is that group there that will certify you as a certified medical revenue manager. It gives you the opportunity to use their logo on all of your marketing equipment, and so doctors will know that you've gone through a certified training on medical revenue management. So there you go. All right. So we're just briefly into the webinar this afternoon. And again, I want to remind you that I want to hear from you. If you've got questions, if you've got statements, if you've got something you need to try to navigate through, I'm here today to kind of help answer all of your questions whenever it comes down just to the general parts of American Business Systems and being a part of ABS here. So, all right, so let's get started here. Again, today's topic is start your own medical billing company and not crash it in the beginning. Now, one of the things I want to share with you that really is kind of just hot off the presses, Adam sent this to me about 15 minutes before we got started here on the webinar. I was able to slide this next slide right on in here. It's something that's brand new that's just came out. And this is an article. You'll see at the very bottom, there's the link. It's from franchiseinsights.com, small business startup settlement and sentiment, and really what's happening and where is it standing right now. You can see this. They've been keeping this chart for the last 5-6 years here. And you can see it takes its dips, and early on in the beginning of the year, it had its pretty big dip there towards the end of or the beginning of 2026. But it has certainly made an incredible surge here. So you can see here, this is dated May the 6th. So this literally just came out, and it says startup sentiment was strong for the third consecutive month in April of 2026 as business buyers surveyed showed that 62.2% of persons exploring ownership agree or strongly agree that now is a good time for startup, from up recent a low of 30% in December 2025. So this is encouraging news for you. There's a lot of people who are just like you that are thinking from the get-go of how do we get started? What kind of businesses should we be looking at? So now is a great time, again, to start looking at opportunities for yourself to work for yourself. So whether, again, like Adam mentioned earlier, whether you're a retiree or you're a home-based type of business family and you just want to get something started, the American Business Systems is really poised for you type of folks there. Now, it doesn't mean that young entrepreneurs don't want to get involved in this. Obviously, it's really an opportunity that can be a life-changing experience for everybody. O'Sullivan is just saying, I've just collected the purchase agreement. I would like you to help talk about how we can register our own revenue management company, how to go about that. Did you have some of your support staff to help, or will I need to do that on my own? I'd like you to talk about the website and other support systems. Well, you know what? You're really at the perfect webinar, because that's what I'm going to be talking about here. So first of all, I'm going to leave your question up and I'm going to kind of just go through the very, very basics and then we're going to work up towards your leading it into your questions. Because, folks, he has been on here for quite some time. I've seen him on some other webinars. And so I know that we have had some discussions and it sounds like getting close with the purchase agreement. And so hopefully we'll be able to close some of the gaps for the questions there. But anyway, obviously, folks, it all starts with our website. If you haven't really gone through our entirety of our website, it's absystems.com. You can certainly go through it. Many of you probably been through this backwards and forwards. You know what's included, but I'm going to just, again, kind of just take you through a kind of a very, very high level and then kind of work our way down as we kind of go through it and answering some of the questions that are been laid out already. But if you haven't, if you'll notice though, in the upper right-hand corner, there's a blue box. Sometimes it gets lost there because it's there and it's kind of not with everything else. And not to say that it's not standing out, it's right there. It's just kind of obvious. If you haven't downloaded the 5 Secrets to Success, it's a PDF. Yes, you're going to have to put your first and last name in there and your email address. But you won't get re-registered with anybody else. If you're working with Jason or any of the other guys here, you're not going to get switched and you're not going to get another set of calls and another group of emails. We take care of that all back behind the scenes. So, but you're going to want to get a hold of that. Now, there are 5 pretty good secrets that are there that you're going to want to kind of go through. But what I like about it the best is that there are testimonials, or what we've known in the business world as white papers, kind of showing the success of what's going on with some of the folks there at American Business Systems, some of those that have been around for quite some time, how they got started. And it is those people there that you're able, that you can certainly be able to contact, and I'm going to show you how to get a hold of those here towards the end of the webinar. So, but again, take the time, if you haven't really, looked at the website, really kind of go through it systematically. When you click on Get Started, it kind of leads you to this page, and it just talks to you about who we are, and we know that you have an options, and you're always looking at the downside or the maximum upside, but we do offer one of the fastest proven ways to start your own medical billing business, pretty much guaranteed. And we say guaranteed simply because it's guaranteed, because for the first 30 days after you've gone through training, you can certainly request a full refund, and I'll get to that here. But the ABS business package has a one-time, all-inclusive investment of $35,000. So for those that are trying to make sure that you know what the startup fee here is, it's a one-time fee of $35,000. Now, this includes everything that we have to offer, which includes also, if we ever add new services to our program here, you're also grandfathered into those services. So you never have to worry about whenever we add a new service, whether ABS or your sales rep is going to come back and hit you up for another set of money here. So we don't ever do that. Matter of fact, we always look for areas to improve what we already have. And then those that are already American Business Systems business owners, they get all of that as well. So again, what's all included for that? I'm going to kind of share that with you in different stages as we go through here, but it's a pretty comprehensive package. If I go back to one of the opening slides where we just won the award from the Business Healthcare Review, they recognize what we have to offer entrepreneurs like yourself, that it is pretty comprehensive in everything that we have. It all begins with the software and the marketing pieces that you get along here. Everything's included. And let me also say, I'll add this to my discussion about the business package. It truly does have 12 different income generating services, which includes the billing, the practice management software, electronic health records. You're also going to get a website. You're going to get over 2,000 pieces of customized marketing materials, and you can click on the more details after you're on our website to just kind of see that. So let me kind of there's so many questions that O'Sullivan has over here that I think it's good for me to kind of help take care of this. So one of the questions that is asked is how to register our name for the company. Because one of the things that you're going to go through in the training, and you'll see this here in a moment, we're going to go through of how you register your name. There's a couple of different things that you can do. You can do an LLC, you can do a sole proprietor, you can do a C corp or an S corp, or however you want to set it up. I do recommend that you do it with some type of entity so that you can take some of the investment money that you're putting into and at least have the opportunity to be able to deduct that from your business expenses and obviously reduce some of the tax burdens that you might have. Now, I will also say I am not a CPA and I'm not an attorney. So what I've just said here is from pure understanding of business. I don't mean that as any legal advisement. I certainly advise you to work with a CPA, maybe work with a business attorney of what is best for you as you're setting up your entity. But we do go through the different types of ones that we would recommend. I will tell you that most of our business owners opt to go with a limited liability company. It's the least expensive. It's fairly easy to set up. You can probably get it done within 2 to 3 days and get it registered through the state that you have and just get everything that you're going to need from there. So it's fairly easy. For a lot of first-time business owners, you need that help. There may be some of you on here today that already own a business and you kind of already know how you're going to want to plug that into your entire enterprise of businesses that you may already have already. So that's a great thing. Now I'm going to go over here to audience questions, and I know he's got some more questions over here I'm going to answer here, but I think I'm going to answer it more along in the training section. But one thing I want to make very, very clear here is that we are a business opportunity, which gives you the freedom to act, live, market to whomever you want to, live wherever you want to, without the burden of having any franchise fees or royalty fees. This is one of the things that probably drives a lot of people to us. And for the investment, the possibility of your return on investment, and then obviously the opportunity for you to grow your business without having the burden of a franchise fee or even a royalty fee, or even sharing in the money that's collected per claim. Folks, whenever you're billing a doctor, and let's take it that you're billing a 6% at 6%, and you're collecting $200 for that doctor. Well, that's $12 that's coming towards you at 6%. So, folks, that's none of that is going to be our money. That's going to be all of your money. So just know that that collectively adds up pretty doggone quickly. Now, today, I'm not going to go through about how much you can make. There is a webinar that is in our YouTube channel that you can go back to and watch that. What's the possibility on your ROI? You can go look and do a search on ROI or return on investment with American Business Systems, and then you're going to be able to do that. Okay. Second question is a follow-up to registering your management company. Soligon is asking, do we need to obtain an EIN from the IRS for our company? Yes, you're going to want, see, that's what that's yes. And again, I'm going to be very careful because I'm not an attorney to advise you or a CPA to advise you. However, you're going to want to have an entity that has its own tax ID. So because you're going to want to be able to, when you're doing your taxes and how you're going to be able to do your taxes, and it's certainly encourage you to find somebody that's going to be able to help you with that. But you whatever money that you have, some of that can be business expenses where they're not taxable, so it helps reduce your tax burden throughout the year. And the same thing I believe it is with your actual investment here. So you might want to check with your accountant or your CPA or even business attorney maybe how the investment into your business again goes into as in a business expense. Now you might there's several different ways that can happen. So just know that there from the beginning. Now you've got some other questions here about the websites and support that I'm going to get into here as we kind of go through it. So hopefully that helped answer your question about the EIN. And yes, you're going to want to have that. So that's just part of business. It's almost as important as having your own phone number. One of the things that we're going to talk with you about here in support or even in through trading is how to set up your office virtually. Yes, I know that you've got a cell phone and you've got how you do business. And obviously what I did, and to kind of give you a little bit of history about myself, I, through American Business Systems, have owned a couple of medical billing companies myself. They were very profitable and enough for me to even expand my horizon of what I do currently now in healthcare. And part of what I still do here with American Business Systems is so ingrained in what we do here. But the opportunities that this is going to give you is pretty successful. But what I was going to get to is, I know that some people use a virtual phone number like Ring Central. That's one area that you can do. I never mind having the doctors or the office managers or anybody else having my personal cell number. I like the direct connection. I don't want to lose a call through some virtual systems. We now, for our billing side of it, we actually had a virtual number because one of our companies, we had a kind of an off-site biller that helped us with some of our one of our accounts. And folks needed to get in touch with her, so for her sake we had a virtual number for billing purposes. But for folks to get in touch with me as the business owner, I certainly didn't mind having my own cell number out there. So okay, all right, so let's keep moving on. So now we're going to talk a little bit about what you're getting here at American Businesses for your $35,000 investment. Now, the biggest thing that you're getting from us right off the bat is the training workshop. Now, we used to do training here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, and about every 6 weeks, we would bring in all of our new business owners together and spend an entire week at a hotel. Now, it was great. The environment was fun. The dynamics were just off the chart. And we had just an incredible instructor here, and we had several other people instructed. I got a chance to instruct a few times, and I love the live engagement of having a group of people. However, before COVID actually happened, we started to think about, let's do this virtually so that it will help ease the burden on people when they're ready to get started. Because if we just had a training, you have to wait 6 weeks to get into the training, the next training. Then sometimes it may not work because of travel schedules or anything else. And so now you put off another 6 weeks, and now you're in it to 12 weeks. Adam made the decision, hey, let's start turning this into some virtual training. How about we start doing that? And then we can get people started, and you can use the same trainers and everything else that go along with this. And this actually happened right before COVID. So we were doing virtual training before COVID. And folks, we have never looked back. It has been the best thing, one of the best things that American Business Systems has done. So, but with this is what I like about it, is that now you get a one-on-one with the trainer. Instead of being in a room full of people, feeling like your questions might get asked, maybe it doesn't get asked, you wish you'd have asked that question. Now the same trainer that used to train in person is the one that's training you virtually through a Zoom meeting. That means that you're going to have a one-on-one open dialogue. Unlike what we're having right now, it's just a one-way with I'm talking and your microphones are all muted. But with the one-on-one live training, you're right in it, and you're going to be with one of the superstars, the rock stars, as we would call our training staff here. A matter of fact, we have 2 to 3 that actually do the training as a regular service here for American Business Systems. But these folks started off right where you are. They attended our webinars. They became ABS business owners. They became very successful, so much success that Patrick and Adam brought him in as trainers. And so all of our trainers are people that have been right where you are with the same fear of, is this going to work? And what if it doesn't work? And so you're going to be able to have that one-on-one training with someone that's been right where you are, and they're going to make sure that you have everything you need to get to your first client. Now, here's what you're going to learn. So for those that have the capabilities, maybe you're on a Mac, maybe you know how to do it from a Windows type of platform. But if you'd like to take a screenshot of this, click on this and save this, okay? Save it as a PDF so that you can always go back to it. You may already have this, but this is the training curriculum. This is the agenda of our training. There are 10 modules that you're going to go through. Typically, it's going to take you about 14 to 20 days to maybe get through all of this training. It's better than trying to drink it from a fire hydrant in 5 days. Actually, it was 4.5 days because we usually let out early on Friday. But imagine trying to get all this crunched in 5 days. Now, this is systematically from first module to the 10th module to get you to that last module where you can see there about a jumpstart program. I'm going to talk about that first, and then I'm going to kind of go back over just highlights of each of these modules. But I want to share with you, because each of you are coming today. If I invest that amount of money, what kind of return and how quickly will ABS help me get a client? So the Jumpstart program is for that. It's helping you to jumpstart, getting you in front of doctors, knowing what to say, what to do, where to go, how to present yourself out in the business world, especially in healthcare, and getting you that first opportunity to be in front of a doctor. So that's what we're trying to do. Now, a lot of you may have some questions. I don't see any other questions except for the ones I have up already. But you may be asking, does ABS provide me a list of doctors who are looking for medical billers? If so, how do I get that list? Let me tell you, we don't have a list, because I'm going to tell you, it's as fluid as the day is long. I will tell you that if we were to give you a list today, by the time it gets to you and through training, that doctor has already moved on to somebody else. And this is what I found out, because whenever I became one of the first billing business here with American Business Systems, I told Patrick then, I said, hey, Patrick, let's really, you know me, I know you. I've been doing some work here with ABS long before I became a business owner here at American Business Systems. I said, look, let's just try this whole list thing. Let's see if we can make it work. Isn't it nice to know that the owner and some staff members, some support staff members, try out what we say that we present to you? So we did. We subscribed to a list of doctors, and even with the best of our abilities, we could not close one. Here's what we got. We got, number one, I've had too many calls from a bunch of people. Number two, I didn't sign up for getting these calls, so I don't know why you're calling me. I don't need a biller. By the time that we got to them, they already found somebody. But mostly it's the first two. Why are you calling? And I didn't sign up for these things. But yet the doctors are somewhat, they probably signed up for something, and they got put on a list, and that list became a sellable item to folks like you guys. The people that are making the money are the people that were buying the list for our ABS business owners. So we tried it. We actually tried it several times. We had some of our top business owners use it, and I can't even remember where that ever worked. But what worked is, I'll tell you, what's proven is what worked is everything that you see in this training modules. These are the things that work. And we're not going to vary from this. This is why ABS has been around for over 30 years. We're still here. We've been through recessions. We've been through pandemics. We've been through so many things over the 18 years that I've been a part of American Business Systems. And hardly any of this has ever changed or varied. Now, there's been some things that have been added, but they've only been added because they've worked, okay? So let's go through module 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. We'll just go through them real quickly. You can see real quickly, module 1, you're going to be covering introductions and practice workflow and an introduction to medical billing. In module 2, you're going to go over the integral parts of iClaim and EMRX. Now, those are the white labeled names that are for 3 of our billing and practice management platforms. So you're going to go over all of those. You're going to know how they're priced out and everything else like that. Module 3, there are some of you that are interested in doing some dental billing. Dental billing is actually up on an uptick. So there's some opportunities that you could do some dental billing. Now, dental billing codes and medical billing codes are two separate types. So it's not like you can take your knowledge, if you've got any healthcare billing background, and apply it to dental billing. It really is a separate little silo of billing there. Then you're going to get into choice pay and quick collect. This is how revenue gets collected for basically owed money, money that is owed to the doctor. Module 4, you're going to go through Audit Guard and CodeWrite. I'm going to stop right there because both of those services right there have to deal with coding. So a lot of you are coming to the table today. Do I need to go to class for medical billing or medical coding? You don't need a certification in medical coding, okay? That's not what this business is about. Remember, you are the CEO of your medical billing revenue cycle management company, okay? You're not always the biller and you're not always going to be the coder. But do we have coding help for you? Yes, through Audit Guard and through CodeWrite, okay? Same type of, it's two different services, so get with your sales rep to kind of get a little bit more involved in that. Compliancy Guard has to do everything with HIPAA compliancy. You know, all the privacy issues that are surrounding healthcare and what doctors should be looking out for, and really how to help them plug the hole so they don't lose the money that they actually did get. Module 5, AutoCard, is a system where you can help the doctor and actually do a little bit of marketing out there to help them increase their revenue. Doctors, for credentialing, there's a credentialing service called Credentials Now. If you don't know what credentialing is, it's basically this. If a doctor wants to be a part of Cigna or United Healthcare or Blue Cross Blue Shield, they have to be credentialed. They have to show their credentials showing that they're a doctor and that they can actually practice medicine. That's basically what it's all about. And then they say, yeah, we want you to be a part of our network. Now, because we've got all these patients, now you can share in that load in providing healthcare services to this group of patients here. Doctable is another service that I would encourage you to get back with your sales rep on. Then there's our final review. So you can see module 1 through 5 is all about the services and everything that goes on. Module 6 starts the marketing. This is where we're going to start rolling up our sleeves. So now that you've got the basics of all of your different services, now we're going to start to get you warmed up to getting out there and marketing your business. Module 7 gets into business networking. The most number one way everybody gets their first client is through networking. Both of my billing businesses started off with business networking, the people that I knew and the people that those people knew. And you start building your orbit of your business sphere and your orbit here, that you'll be surprised of how quickly you'll be able to introduce to a doctor. And then how to use all the marketing materials, the books, the ebooks, and everything else. Module 8 is utilizing sales rep or referral partners. We call them power partners here. Again, it's all part of networking and building your orbit of your business, okay? Using classified ads. You can actually post in Indeed, which is pretty cool, okay? So we're going to show you, I don't have time to tell you about that, but just know that as an opportunity, and maybe a doctor's calling you and saying, hey, I saw your ad on Indeed and I'd like to talk with you. Lead management, follow-up processes. One of the great things that we have here is a full year of service with a CRM called Zoho that's part of your package now. It's just opened up this last year, so it's a pretty cool element to have in your business modules. Module 9 is utilizing the practice analysis. You finally got that invited opportunity to sit with a doctor or an office manager, go through the analysis, go through the results, and get to the agreement, get them to sign it, make the proposal, do the demo, to start your implementation process, boom. And it ends with, again, how to jumpstart everything in module 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so those are pretty cool. All right. Slide before I get into anything else here. Here's just, again, you got free lifetime of support. We don't limit our support to 6 months or a year. We never have or never will. If you ever need any additional training, you need help, feel free to reach out to support. They're here to help you. You can see it's all US-based support. people by phone, real people here in the United States of America, going to help support you here. They're open from 9 to 5 every day, Monday through Friday. If you get the recording, you just leave a message. Somebody's going to call you back and get you and help you and walk you through that. Our support team is also another line of networking that the guys there are always looking for ways to help you get and close out your first deals. Again, here are all the products and services. We've already kind of gone through all of those in through the module of training there. So you kind of know what it's going to look like. Now, what's hard to see and hard to kind of grasp here, unless you've seen these in person, these are true 8.5 by 11 flyers or marketing pieces that has room towards the bottom. So you can kind of see that at on the bottom level there, starting with virtual care. I didn't even talk with you about virtual care. It's not even on the training slide there, but you can see virtual care under Compliance Guard. Way at the very bottom, you see the word free, but right next to it, there's some white space there. All of that white space, we actually print your logo, your contact information directly on there. It's not a sticker because we get to print these on demand, so you're getting fresh, look and feel as though these are coming directly from you and you've used a high dollar printer, okay? Now, Osoligun's asking about the website. There are about 10 to 15, I believe, up to now. There may be even some more, so might want to check with your sales rep to get the exact number. But there are several templates that you can choose from. Now, these are your website. It will have your URL. And I always like to talk about this because there are some, multi-level marketing type of organizations out there that says, hey, you can have your own website, but really it's not your own website. It's the name of their company, like americanbusinesssystems.com / whatever the name of your company might be. That's really not your URL. Here at American Business Systems, we actually help you with your naming. That's part of the introduction up at the front. We also make sure that we help you craft the correct URL. Now, a lot of organizations are not having to use .com anymore. There's so many that are out there now. There's even some that are there called .health, who knows out there. There's just so many that are out there that the .coms are not so precious as they used to be, okay? So now you can name your own URL. That URL will put it on your business card, put it on those flyers that I mentioned to you earlier, and then this becomes obviously your website. Now, there's some opportunities to change a few things on here, some of what's called the hero graphics, but basically you're going to be able to choose from these templates. I think there's some color changes that you can look at, some different graphics again that you can utilize, but you'll be able to see it and kind of feel what does it feel like for me. But the great thing about it is you don't have to build a website. This is one of those areas of like an Achilles heel to most new business owners, and having the right, things that are said on their website, and is it all, has it been spelled all correctly and all this? So, anyway, you kind of get my drift there. There's that opportunity. All right. The other thing that you'll have access to 24/7 for support is what's called our licensee support site. It's abslss.com, I think .com. Yeah, and but then there's another website that just came out with a full different type of almost AI type of knowledge base that's even better. I don't know if it's better, but it's equal to our licensee support site. Now here, our site cited a lot of, if you need help with anything, especially after hours, you can always go to here, put it in the, type in the search what you're looking for, and it will find it directly for you. If you need help with some coding information, you want to get right to code right, then there's videos there that kind of help coach you right along with it. And then obviously at the end, if you still need human intervention, just call back, through the business hours that you kind of see it there, Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, so Central Time. Okay. I know there's a question that's come up here, so I'm not losing you here, but just kind of show you, for instance, again, oops, I clicked the wrong button there and it took me over to a website. Let me close that down. It went right in front of me. All right, so you can see through here, the next slide will show you. Wow, it did it again to me. Let me see if I can just, I may have to use my, apologize here real quick. Let me cancel this. Something's getting right in front of my, there we go. That's what I wanted to click on is that once you've clicked like an area of training, you can see it pops up with a little box there. And obviously you can make it bigger for the video part of it. There may be some PDFs of the slide deck that goes along with that. A lot of this will be very familiar with you because you've already kind of gone through some of that already in the um, in what you need for everything that you're going to need for your training for any particular service. Okay. Folks, we are almost 39 minutes after the hour. So I'm going to try to rush through this because I haven't even gotten to the part where, I don't want you to crash your business. So I wanted to get to that. But the other thing is we mentioned about books and ebooks. This next slide I'm going to show you is an actual book. I mean, you can't see it behind me because of the green screen, but back behind me, I've got an entire library of business books and some other types of books. And one of the books that you're going to actually have and printed for you is the new Thriving Medical Practice. Now, I want to talk to you about this real briefly. Then I may jump over to because I don't want you to crash your business in the beginning either. But this book was written by Patrick Phillips and Dr. Vicki Rackner. Now, the great cool thing about this is we're gonna be interviewing Dr. Vicki Rackner in the next month or so. I'd probably say in the next 30 to 45 days, we're going to be interviewing her. You're not going to want to miss that interview if you haven't already become a business owner here. But you'll see at the very bottom in these big red arrows that I have here, on the front of the book, it says forward by Susan Smith. It says it on the opening page that you can see currently just right there and on the other cover there. Now, the forward is actually written by you. Okay, so if Karen, you're an ABS business owner and you want your first and last name to be on the book, your name actually goes on the front of the book. We have a templated forward. A lot of people kind of get a little squirrely if we've already got it pre-written and they go, well, that's not my words. I want it to say what I want to say it. Well, we can do that. Okay. We can put in what you want to put in there. Okay. But here's what I'm trying to say is that we're here to help you market your business. There's nothing better than to get this book in the doctor's hands. And we've got a method, a very, very strategic method of bypassing that person that is at the front part of the office that you feel like you can't ever get in front of the doctor, even your marketing material in front of the doctor. We're going to show you how to get this in the hands of the doctor within the first week of you starting with us, okay? And after you get the book, we want to make sure you have the book with your name on it. But once you kind of get started with this, we're going to show you how you're going to be actually targeting doctors and getting this book in their hands. Then once it's in their hands, one of the things that you're going to go through with training is you can see here a picture of this book, and then on the side of it, there are these yellow tabs. Folks, you've seen these yellow tabs all the time. It's these little things that you can buy, and like if you want to marketplace in a book. Okay, so this is what we do. We're going to show you how specific areas in the book. What does this do? It's going to help the doctor feel like they don't have to read the whole thing. You're going to actually help them get through some of the little snippets there pretty doggone quickly. And it looks just like this. You can see here, here's a picture of one that's already highlighted. You can see that it's highlighted and it takes them directly to the specific page and a specific area you want that doctor to read. Okay. So again, we're going to help you get that doctor in the hands of a doctor, or this book in the hands of a doctor, bypassing their secretary and their office manager, and having that copy of that form in the front of the book. Okay. All right. Let's see. Soligan, I think I've helped answer all of your questions. If I miss anything, feel free to type it back in here. Dipcap, Dip Pakkumar, sorry, Gandhi is your last name there. How many billers in my company get free training? All right, so this is a question that if you need some training for your billers, get with your sales rep on how many gets covered underneath your particular training. Now, on the business side, on the ABS LSS side, though, Gandhi, you can actually there are certain places on there that will teach some of the training for billing, but Well, I think what we would prefer to do is we're going to show you how to hire a biller that already knows what they're doing and maybe even proficient in several other types of billing platforms. We're going to show you how to do that. Okay. All right. Real quickly, everybody wants to know what kind of money they can make. Now, today, again, is not the full revenue, ROI thing, but I do want to show you that if you are billing a doctor, if you had one doctor, and this is a full-blown family practice, probably internal medicine type of a doctor. If you're billing that doctor at 7% and that average claim that goes out now for $150, that's pretty light for a 10 to 15 minute visit from any family practitioner. And you're doing 25 of those a day, just to kind of help you set some stage here. But if you're, and again, I'm going to qualify this, that if you're doing billing for a full-fledged family doctor that is seeing 25 patients a day, open 5 days a week, your potential income is about $68,000. So folks, the reason I've got that in here is because the investment is $35,000. One doctor can cover your entire investment, usually within the first year. So just wanted to make that point. And we can go through some of that more and more depth in a different webinar, but I wanted to kind of show that to you. Now, I finally get to the last part of it because this is kind of the fun part of it. And I will zip through this pretty quickly. But what I want to make sure is that you don't crash your startup, because it's the things that we do sometimes and we hinder and hurt ourselves. We don't stay with the program. I can't tell you how many of those people that have gone through training have said, gosh, Eric, it's not working. So-and-so, it's not working. Support, it's not working. And then we start to do some due diligence with you. Well, have you done this? Did you do this? Have you gone through this? Or have you, are you, well, I really didn't do it that way. Well, once we hear that, we go, okay, well then let's stop. Let's try to fix it, get you back on track. Tim Warren is our VP of support here. I'm going to be interviewing Tim here in the next couple of months. His story, and you get an opportunity to visit with him if you'd like to. You can talk with your sales rep, and you can specifically ask for Tim Warren. Now, it may be a little bit because he's running support, but it's well worth the visit with Tim. And how often he has said, Eric, I can tell you at the beginning, I tried to do it my way. I've had a marketing background. I've had sales background. I tried to do it my way. It just didn't work. Almost was ready to give up on it. And then I went back and did what ABS told me to do. And within 2 to 3 months, I had my first client. Okay. So I don't want you to crash your business from the launch pad. Okay. I don't want you to reinvent the wheel. You're going to know that you've got product differentiation. And right now, you just don't know what you don't know, okay? So I'm going to go through these pretty quickly just so that you get the drift. First of all, don't try to reinvent the wheel. Don't be like what Tim Warren tried to do. Oh, I hear what you're saying, ABS. I've got some things here. I've got a sales and marketing background. I'm going to try to do this a little bit differently. And all you're doing is putting square wheels on a bicycle, and you're not going to go anywhere. So use our proven system, okay? Secondly, you have the competitive edge. You've got services that a lot of other medical billing companies don't have, okay? So let's stress that. You got more services than what most medical billing companies out there have. One I've already mentioned to you that I didn't really take any time with, which is virtual care. Virtual care is an opportunity for you to get in the hands a way for the doctors to make more money and have better outcomes with their patients by monitoring those patients remotely from home. That's their blood pressure, their glucometers, their glucose, the weight, pulse oximeters, all those things, those those vital signs that normally get taken there at the doctor's office can be taken at home and remotely transferred to the doctor without internet services. It goes through a cell service. The doctor gets it. And if there's anything that the doctor needs to intervene because their blood pressure is too high or they gain too much weight or their oxygen levels are low or their blood sugar is too high or their blood sugar is too low, they can intervene with that patient remotely. Guess what that happens? It creates an opportunity for a doctor procedure to happen, which means that there's more billing that can happen. So you can see where I'm going. With American Business Systems, you've got a competitive edge on a lot of other medical billing companies. The iClaim system alone. So I've got this shown right here because I want you to understand that if you've got an opportunity to sit down with your sales rep and go through a demonstration of our software, I highly encourage you to do that. So do that as quickly as you can. And number three, you just don't know what you don't know. Now, some of you have been on some of my webinars. I've shared with you what revenue cycle management looks like. And a lot of times what we're sharing with you here through our webinars, we're giving you a ton of information. We're giving you education here basically at no cost. And probably enough to make you fairly intelligent out there in the healthcare world. But people have asked me, hey, Eric, I want to get started. And listen, the investment is a solid $35,000. We understand that. So a lot of people have asked me in the past, what if I go try to go pre-market out there? What would pre-marketing look like if I went out there and pre-marketed and try to get a doctor? So right whenever I kind of know I've got a doctor, I'm gonna invest, and then we'll go through the training, and then I'll start the billing with the doctor. Here's what happens is you may end up getting some leads until you have the conversation with the doctor. And then all of a sudden you burn every single lead because now you don't really know what you're talking about. That's what I'm saying. You just don't know what you don't know right now. And you need to go through all 10 of those modules to really, really get solidified in this. I'm not trying to say that to sell it to you because, again, you got to remember at the end of the 30 days or at the end of your training, you still have about another week and a half for you to continue to make your decision whether this is the right business for you or not. So with all that said, we've kind of gone through, we want to help you start your own medical billing, and we want to make sure that you don't crash it in the very beginning. So there's another couple of questions here. Soligan is asking, will the training include how to use the doctor software template to submit the claims if they don't want to use iClaim EMRx? Yes. There's a lot of doctors who are not necessarily ready to switch their medical billing or practice management system. We're going to help coach you through that. The two instructors that we have right now that do the majority of our training, actually we've got three that they've experienced it all, and a lot of times they don't. The doctors are not ready to make that transfer over to iClaim yet. Doesn't mean that we're not going to show it to them and demonstrate it to them, because we're going to do that for you. But they may not be ready. That's okay. Let's work. Let's help them build some trust. Once you got the trust built, then you can do that. Gandhi is also, does ABS provide help with finding a name of our billing company? Yes. I don't know when you entered in. I think I shared that earlier on, but we will kind of help you gear you towards some particular names. Now, I will tell you this. Now, last week, I went through a whole lesson on artificial intelligence, utilizing ChatGPT, Grok, Gemini, what's the other one out there? Claude. Folks, you can use any of those, and those will actually help you try to find a really good business name to kind of help build your profile out there in the business world there. So, and those things can help you. And not only will it help you kind of help get your business started up, and they're going to, with the horizon here with artificial intelligence and these programs that I mentioned to you, there's some really cool things that are help you write articles for your LinkedIn posts that you want to make, articles to write for Facebook. So AI is nothing to be shied away from, especially in healthcare. It's going to help you with your coding. It's going to help you with so much stuff. We've already got built in AI in our platforms already. So good to go.